Good day, everybody. At last, I'm going to go over the hill and check it out. Managed to get this cut over here, but it is so hot and humid out. I never got a chance to get that done. Way over there is done, but just not the front. Just check it, see. Oh, it doesn't feel too bad out right now. It's hot. And I'm wearing freaking black. Yeah, that looks okay. Probably mow that. But not with black shorts, black sandals, and a black t-shirt on. And look at those pearly white legs. Yep. Yep, it's in here. I'm going to have to open this up. And, here we go. Now, this is how close my wife sits. Now watch the seat go back. Oh, that works good. Let's go that way. Yeah. Ah, that didn't work. Let me see here. What's going on? I will have to set that again. No, if I don't lean back, I'll never get in there, and it doesn't. There we go. Down, boy. There, I think that's it. It is. We'll check out where my feet are. Lately, I've been having to, this. It's like I'm being, it's like a friggin' being seat like in a carnival ride. Okay, let's get this in here. Oh, that don't quite fit either. Canada Dry. There. Okay, let me clean this camera case up or whatever it's been. Come on, get out of there. There. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, do we have any Kleenex left? Yeah. This will have to do. There. That looks a little better. Yes, I've been slowly trying to get out here. I guess to start this thing, eh? Just notice it's really hot in here. Oh, shit. Is the radio gonna come on? Come on, loading. Okay, I accept. Now. Okay, whoop. Where's the radio? Where's the volume on the radio? Oh, there's the fan. Okay, radio's off. Okay, let's get to cleaning this up. Well, it's like some kids stuck their fingers in here or something. I don't know. We'll get it as best as we can get it. I bought 2 cameras along so I can take my time and try to catch the light when it goes out to start the other camera up to add it into the end of the first camera memory card. So why does this look so gunky? It's not that side, it's this side. Oh, it doesn't even look like that side's it. We'll just work at it a little more. Who knows what happened here? Just guess if I got half a tank. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty dirty. I don't know. You probably can't see through that, but it's pretty darn dirty. Looks like it's due for a wash. Perhaps. And I have to put, where's the other camera at? There. I'll show you here. These cases and these cameras, I have to put an elastic band around it like this. So when I put it in the case, it tries to keep it from rattling so much. Okay, let's go. Let's get this guy going. Back in here. Oh, the bottom came open again. Here we go. Oh, pop goes the weasel. We're in. Yeah. Okay, it's not rattling. Now, oh, what's going on here? Oh. Well, that ain't right. Oh, I got the wrong one. Well, now, let's take it out of here and just screw it on by itself. Friggin' thing. So why's that got to... See, this clamp is 90 degrees to that, where it has to hook on at the bottom. So when I put the camera mount up, it's this way. It is. Oh well. Okay, so let's spin her on. Okay. Tighten up the bottom nut. Okay. This point too high up. Oh, jeez. Gotta be careful. I don't break this anymore. Okay, that's too far forward. Nope, too far back. Okay, that's about right. Okay, let's hope this freaking thing doesn't wobble off its, okay, let's fix the seat. Okay, my memory profile set is good. Buckle up so we don't have to, if in case I speed up a little bit, don't have to listen to the beep. And I haven't driven for a long time. There we go. I guess we can turn that off. Turn that off. That didn't clean it up very much, did it? Okay. Oh, turn that off yet. There. So, last month I got my feet knocked out from underneath me. I seem to have got into a bit of a pneumonia. I didn't really realize that there was something really wrong until I started coughing up some blood. Then I was off to the hospital. In hospital, getting no emergency here, it wasn't too bad considering it was a long weekend. I think it went on a Sunday. And I got through in about 5 hours. So that wasn't too bad. That was a bonus. There's that goddamn tree away. Yeah, we gotta come down here and get this mowed next. I don't know what it is. This humidity makes it grow like crazy. Well, now I did a little bit of trimming down here. You can see that white spruce right in front of me. I lobbed some of that off so I don't have to freaking hit it with the Jeep when I go down here. And it looks like this here tamarack, I'm going to have to do a little bit of that. And good news, the farmer's going to come down here and mow this. He's going to bale it up, feed it to his cows. Which is great, because I think he can get up close to the dog fence. And if that's the case, that's a bonus for me. So I can get up there and I can walk along the bottom of it. Because one of the dogs was getting out, the old guy was getting out just below where their doghouse is, somewhere where I couldn't see. All of a sudden he was right here down on the left-hand side here, down by the salt lick when my wife spotted him. So here we go. This is where the water well is, and I've been trying to enlarge that area where the car goes. And let's see. Good. I've thrown a few branches out of the way here, but still got a few more to get out. I've had the game camera down here a few weeks back or so, and there's just a deer, a raccoon, and that's about it. But the apples are starting to come on, and the blackberries are just probably getting pretty to pick right now, because I've been when I was mowing up there a couple days ago, I could pick a few off while I was driving by. They're pretty good, except the seed's so friggin' big in it. I think it'd be best if you could just squeeze them, juice it or something. I have to look that up. Anyway, I came down here and I started clearing up this so that I could get down here without running into these trees. Just cut it and throw it up into the back into the woods. I have to do a little on the left here. And that's it. This is my favorite place. It's nice and quiet. No matter which way you park the car and you look into the woods, it's just something really comforting, we'll say. Now this is the bottom of the hill where the little field is right up top. There's probably quite a bit of wood I can get off of here, but I don't want to screw that up. And over there where all the trees are falling over, that's the big company called KC Irving, or Irving Forestry Products, or some damn thing. And I hope they don't come here cutting. Because the next thing they'll want to do is spray. They sprayed down the highway. Okay, we're going to get an alarm here. That's it right there. They don't like, yeah, I'm going. It doesn't, so now what? Oh, I thought he changed it. Okay, here we go. A moment. Oh, a little apple there. And I came down here, I noticed that there was some burdocks growing on the right, and I went and dug them up. I I still got a pile up by the house there at the end of the road going up this little hill over there. Back up to the house to the gate. I filled up a wagon load of those things and they were big. What I want to do is behind me here, where we turned around, is make it big enough so that I can just turn around on a loop without having to back up. Oh, there goes a scratching branch. There goes the camera case. Okay. Anybody want to sponsor me for a new camera? Please do. These guys I've had for quite a few years now, and they're just so busted up that I don't know how much longer they'll last. Batteries are swelling, and little springs are broken where the battery's held in there. Yeah. So this little field here, he's going to come in, he's going to have to hay this one too. That'll be nice. Then my son can come in here next spring maybe, if it's down far enough, and full of black walnuts. He bought a bottle of lion urine, and he's been spraying it down around his black walnut trees down here at the bottom of the hill to keep the moose from coming in there and eating the tops off. Probably the deer is too. Looks like this needs mowing again. I've cut back a little bit of the trees on the right. This big branch here has got to go. Part behind the mower and filling it up with a bunch of tools. And from the views I've been getting, it looks like everybody wants to look at the 3 dogs we've got here. So I'm going to try to make a few more videos of that. Oh yes, I got a big rock I got to get out of there. I don't want the farmer to hit that. I should back up and just roll it out. So hang on a minute. I'll just back up for a bit. It's on the left. It's not too far. I had a wagon load of dirt that I came down here with, and I would have hit that rock for sure. I filled in a lot of the potholes, but I still got a ways to go yet. There's the rock. Okay, I'll back up enough so that I can negotiate myself around it. Just pull it out. Okay, let me see. I don't know. I don't know if you see it or not. But, oh, there's one of the dogs right up there. And there's another one. That's nice and bare. These boys going in? Right, Bear? That thing's bigger than 2 footballs. Side by side. And it's square like a great big loaf of bread-ish looking kind of thing. Okay. And another thing I gotta check out is if we can use these guard dogs as a tax write-off, so we can get some of them, recoup some of the money that we feed them. I just fed them, or we're feeding them right now probably, it's called Next Guard. And for 3 dogs for 2 months, it's over almost $600. That's pretty expensive. So, and our oldest dog, Dorn, Mr. Nasty, he seems to have been getting quite a few hot spots this year. I think he's on his 3rd one since late spring. So we keep having to take him into the groomers, not only to get his ears clean, because we can't touch him, but our groomer, she has no problem at all. And the damn dog wants to jump into the back of the Jeep just to go and visit her. You know, like we take him in at one point quite a bit, every few days till we got a control of the year. And to shave his hot spots off, and the medication for him was $600, plus a part of these, it's $2 grand to feed them this, it controls ticks, fleas, and deworms them, just to keep them in top shape. No point in having a dog if you can't look after it. So this is good. He'll come down in here and clean all this up, except for my son's dwindling little project down here on the left. He planted some spruce or some darn thing in there. Black spruce. Seems to like the black trees for some reason. And all this yellow stuff, this is goldenrod. And if you're allergic to it, it'll make you sneeze pretty bad. I'm not sure what that white stuff is. But I've got to get this part cleaned up right away. The sides of the road, if you don't keep them knocked back, just keeps running in. And pretty soon this would just disappear. You'd need a tractor to go down through here. This isn't too bad here. Not only that, just up here we got a culvert we have to replace. It's collapsed. There might be another one down there too. All of a sudden we'll hit a bump here. I think it's just up ahead. To be right here maybe. Here maybe. I've tried filling in some rocks over the top of it, but it doesn't really help. Right there. And I got to get in here with, my son has one of those pole saws. Bring the hedge trimmer down. Get this stuff all knocked down. throw any of the bigger stuff off into the side of the woods there. And the small stuff I can come over it with the mower. It gets rid of it faster. Okay. These trees here will fall into the road as well. Okay. Oh, that's the end of the camera. Maybe. Oh, it's chirping for something. On the left there's a pretty good sized hill. My son's been up there thinning it, but it's gotta thin it a lot more than that. And he come down here with his saw. It's like a table saw blade. It's called a spacing saw. And he cleaned up both sides of the creek. So I'm going to come down here myself and use the weed whacker and see if I can clean it up a little more. I'll take a picture of this side and the other side, and if I remember, I'll put them in the video right after this little chitty chat. Okay. Okay. Alright. Come on. Camera. Oh, that looks nice. And here comes the deer flies. And we're going to take one of these cedars that's dead in here, and I'm going to try to follow it on the road. But I got to be careful because I got to make sure my son's with me and he's got his truck. Because once we get it kind of out to the road, we can throw a rope or something onto it and pull it out. And then we can just drag it up behind the truck. Might have to section it or something, but all I want is one more tree, cut it into a bunch of rounds, split it and let it dry, and then I'll have kindling, or we'll have kindling, for the next, maybe up to 10 years. And I'll just process that all up, and happy days. Just give me a little bit of something to do. Cleaned down around here. It's getting hard to tell. If I could hold the camera on the side of the window here and still drive, like have to go real slow, of course, you get to see in the woods there a little bit, but I don't think so. It's pretty dark in there. And he's got to come down to pick up this birch he left on the side of the road. tired of picking up that wood. You want to help, you knock some tree down and it could fit in the fireplace, cut it into 16-inch pieces. Then I'll pick it up. But I don't want to be picking up a 2-foot long, 3-foot long piece. Have to drag it up to the house, and then get the old chainsaw out, cut it into a smaller piece, and just ain't happening. That's cleaned up pretty good in there. Him and my grandson went down here the other day, and went to the big beaver dam. And he says where the dam was, there's a big meadow in there now. We got a couple moose hanging out down here. I don't know if it's probably too late to put in for the draw. But before I do that, I got to get a freezer. No idea what those buggers are now. There's a lot of cedar down in here too, trying to grow up. Gray birch, silver birch, and white birch. I think we got 3 of the 4 species. And a lot of sugar maple he's leaving on the side of the road. You might notice the odd ribbon. That's so I don't massacre it. Isn't this just beautiful though? When we first looked at the property, I says I'm going to come down here and take a look. And I walked down to the end on a hot day like today. Holy boy, I didn't think I was going to make it back. And that was in 2013. So 11 years ago. Oh, there's that beeping again. I don't know, one of these cameras stops and goes on its own. And I can't plug a USB cable into these things anymore. I can pop the memory card out and put it in one of those adapters. Pull the battery out. I can still charge them, but they don't fit so good back into the camera. And I got 7 batteries left. And there's about 3 of them that don't really charge up. And then there's the rest of them, I think there's 4 of them that are starting to swell. And I got the one that we're using now swells real bad. But it keeps the best charge. So on the left here, I'm not going to go in there, is where the big old beaver dam was. And all the water that went in here is we're going to drive right over it now. There's a little tiny creek going through there, and it's not even as long as my forearm. But they just plug her up down there, and it was about, the pond, I bet you it was 10, 15 feet deep behind that dam. Anyway, they walked down there and they saw this big meadow, and I thought that was pretty good. And a little while ago, I was down here with the pruners. Up the hill there, boy. And I managed to cut a couple of the trees that the bulldozer kind of put over, but didn't get pushed off the side of the road. These ones right up here. There was one on the left. And I tell you, going through a piece of hardwood that's about 11 years old, even if it was about the size of, oh, maybe under 2 inches, or just 2 inches, was really hard. And I get those gear-operated pruners. They're pretty good on the fresh stuff. And here is Old George, still standing, looking pretty good on one side. That's the west side, I believe. Oh no, we're heading due west right now. So that being to the north. And right up here is where my wife spotted a couple of deer here the other day. Oh, there's this flag, sugar maple. Okay. Nothing down there. I can't touch the camera because it'll frig it up. But what I can do is take a picture down there and add it to the video. There we go. Get the camera ready before we put the window down. There we go. There we go. Oh, and I gotta go over the... You might not be able to see it so clearly, but we need to get down there and... Oh yeah, let's put it in drive here. I wanted to build a little shack down there for the grandkids. This was a few years before they were born, so that we'd have a place to go down and hang out at the big beaver dam. But the beavers moved up to block the road, and we had to get rid of them, or the road would go. Here's a piece of blue flagging. I had him come down with a saw, and on the right hand side, in the ditch, I had to try to get him to cut as many trees out of the way so I could get down there when the water's flowing. I could try to my best to clean it up so the water flows even better, because there's water getting on the road and softening it up. So every time you drive over it, when it's wet, and when you don't listen to the old man, it makes ruts. And then you got to drive back over it and make more ruts. That's pretty neat how that works. So he's been cutting down here of late. You can still on the right or left hand side. And I had to get out and throw a bunch of branches in there. I think I got to come down here with a hedge trimmer and just trim some of that back and then mow it. But the moose love it down here. Yeah. And this is fair warning to any one of you numbnuts that think that you can come here, shoot the moose, and then come up and ask for permission to get it out. Ain't happening. You shoot it somewhere else, and you're more than welcome to take it. Because if I open this up for one guy, we'll have a steady stream of traffic down here. There'll be garbage everywhere. You know what happens. Well, she's pretty well no animals today. Mind you, most of the time I come down here, there's never any animals. It's chilly in the car here anyway. And right now, well, it's only 25 out. I might have to throw on a pair of pants and go mow if it's only going to stay this hot. Get this hot. So here we are at the end of the road, and the property still goes, I don't know, maybe another 200 or 300 yards down to the outlet of a bog. Pearly Bog, it's called. And there's quite a bit of water coming out of there. Oh, see, he's in there cutting the freaking bigger trees again. Just leave the bigger trees alone. They've already taken that long to get that big. Just cut the little stuff down so the bigger ones can get bigger. And in actuality, oh, it's beeping again. Why is it beeping? Yeah, still running. We don't have a trail off the back to go down there, and it's a pretty steep hill. When I did it when we first got here, Nick was with me, and he had to pull me up at a couple of spots. That's when I started noticing that these big feats of strength that I could do when I was younger wasn't going to happen anymore. There we go. There's a few nice hardwoods in there, but there's no point in cutting them down. We're not buying any more firewood. And it beeped again. I bet you it's making a whole bunch of little tiny videos. I think because the battery's going to die, how long is this thing running? That's it? Oh. Well, I sure hope it's recording. It says it's recording. I think what I should do, I'm going to shut this one off and put the other one on. I don't trust it. We'll see how this camera fares. Okay, that's a pink elastic. This is a purple one. Okay. So, let's get the picture of the creek on the other side now. You couldn't see the bush grew up so much. Over the culvert, you couldn't see the creek at all. Alright, got another view here. Oh, this one. Oh, it's still blinking, but the back went out. So, whatever. There's a tree that I gotta come down. The bottom of that one's all eaten out. But you gotta be careful down in here because you're tromping around in there and you hit some dead tree, and if the top breaks off, you don't even hear it coming down unless it's coming through a bunch of branches. See, that looks not too bad now on the left. Except, I don't know, it grows up pretty darn fast. It would be great if we had a chipper. Then we could just blow it all back into the woods. And that would help it grow quicker. And Other things I would like is a little tractor with a backhoe on it, so I could clean out this frickin' ditches here. To dry it up a little bit better here. So the road's better. This section here is real swampy. Now, this is a chainsaw tree. I gotta wait till the weather cools before I come in here and try to do anything. Now, lots of sugar maples down here. So at the end of the day, in the spring, there'll probably be still lots of snow down here. If he could get himself some kind of a track vehicle, whether it's a snowmobile or a side-by-side, whatever, even a quad with tracks, that he could get down to these sugar maples. Mind you, these sugar and maples will never be big enough for 40 years, and he'll be as old as me then, so he won't be doing it. But maybe if one of the kids is going to take over this place, one of the grandkids, then he's got himself a sugar maple place to make his own maple syrup. And I think it's something like 46 to 1. So you get a gallon of maple syrup after you boil down 46 gallons of sap. Quite amazing, actually. How they figured that out. Yeah, I want to work on this section here because keep the habitat up, but help the trees to grow too, so there's some commercial value to them, whether it's just firewood or not. And who knows, maybe they'll make I don't know what you call it, like a wood or a, let me think here, a sawmill shed. So you can cut up some wood that's on here, because there's some of these that are pretty big. A lot of little cedars along here. It's a little swampy over to the left. And then there's a sloping hill on the right going down to the big beaver dam. They just changed the name, called it the old one, because there's nothing in there anymore. What would be nice is to get somebody with a tractor that's got one of those blades on the back, so he could drive down here and offset and get rid of that edge that's along there and push it further away. Then I could mow farther. As it is, I have to go down here 4 times. Once on the left, once beside it, once on the right, and then on the far right, all the way back to the house. And it pretty well does it in 4 passes. So that's like 4 miles of mowing just down this road. There's a little extra, but so that would probably increase it to 6 miles if I could get this thing pushed over a bit more. And then use some of that dirt that I got up there. And put a little bit of that on any of these soft spots. And try to maybe take the center ridge down a bit. So that when you keep continually driving over, it's not like in the field up ahead where the won't be long before the grass is up and underneath right up underneath the Jeep when you're driving through. Anyway, lots of plans, no time, and not much money. So, but you can still, talking's free. But even on a low budget, I sure done a lot down here. There's another ribbon. And some of this needs to be really thinned out, because nothing's going to grow in there. It's going to take too long. But it's so thick in there that there's nothing on the ground but needles. Ouch. Huh. Yes, and I wanted to get some help come down here so that we could make some trails. You know, something that we could take a snowmobile down. And the best time to do like the logging down here would be in the winter time. And we'll just throw it all on a sled. And frozen wood, boy, I tell you, it sure splits nice. When it's all the water inside is all froze up. Anyway, some spruce or fir trees up ahead. Probably a fair size on them. They're blowing down here now. And there's more than enough firewood for the kid to come down here instead of burning the house wood at $300 a cord. You know, it'd be different if you lugged it in from the fire or the woodshed. It would be different if you picked it up off the driveway when it was delivered to put it in there. And then from there to put it into the garage and lug it into the house. You know, you get the message. Like, there's a lot of wood handling that it's mostly up to me to do. I've had a couple of friends help, but that kind of shied them off pretty quick. Oh, that's a big tree in there. What is that? What is that? I can't tell. These are mostly gray Burtts in this little patch. And you got to keep control of these alders. Yeah, it's not bad in there. There's a couple of hardwoods. Might as well leave them. There's enough firewood on here keep those two fireplaces I got up at the house going forever. Unless something comes through here and a big disease or a fire comes through here. There's some big trees there still. It's a good thing the guy that owned the property before me, old David there, they didn't clean everything out. But he did a lot of cutting in here. But I think it was about, I understand it will be about 15 years before we got here. And it's been 10 years since we've been here. So that's about 25 years. This stuff is coming back. Yeah, still 25 out. That's encouraging. Don't have to rush down here to cut right away. That's helpful. I've burnt, I think it's 200 liters of fuel already mowing, and I need another 100. I might need another 100 after that. That's a lot of freaking money on cotton. We could do so much if we worked as a team. Okay, we're coming back up to the creek again. Good. Boy, is it ever overcast? So this is where he was the other day. Pretty hard to see in there anyway. Alright, let's fire up the old camera once more. It's going to take forever to try to find these. So, on the picture I just took, there's two big rocks you can see, and the water flows down through it. And if you look to the left of the rock on the right, there's a big cedar that's, I don't know if it's leading to the left or the right. It's crooked anyway. We're going to try to knock that down so it falls onto the road so we can get a chain on it. But most of those cedars in there are dying, or if not dead. Let me see here. I'll take one more picture up there, and you'll see that I'm just not randomly, like the kid, cutting trees down. If it's dead, cut it and push it over, you know. There's not a lot of water dribbling through there. I'll take one more picture for you. That's... Okay, what do we got here? Where's that big one? Okay. Now, you can see the creek in this picture, the third picture, or whatever, and the rock on the right, or on the left, you can see that from Google Maps when you come down the road. So, if you go to Sheepy Hollow on Google Maps, you follow the road down, and where it curves, you'll see a white dot on there. That's that big rock. And that's where the creek. But this creek is not big enough to get on any of the maps. But where the Big Beaver Dam was, there was a creek going across the property line into another area that was another big old beaver dam. So they made the one on the other property first, and they made another one on mine, and they killed a lot of, you can see the amount of trees that are dead if you go on Google Maps and go down towards the end of the road. Yeah. There's got to be some underwear that they make that don't ride up on you. Anyway, enough information on that. Yeah, he wanted to make an overhead canopy along here, but it's not really working out. All the trees just want to lean into the road, and then they get so much sunlight that they blossom out and get so heavy that they just fall over. So how's that? We're almost out. Man, I'm telling you, it's thick in there. Like when they cut it 25 years ago, what they did was if you go back in Google Maps, you go back in the history, what you'll see is like a herringbone off the road here. So what they did is they made a road into the side of the, or into the woods off the side of the road. And that's how they got in there, to cut the trees, to pull them out, to get them onto the road. I suppose it was quite efficient way of doing it. Probably went in, fell the ones first and pulled them out with a skidder, and then you can get something else in there. Pull them out. I don't know how they did it. But I think it's pretty hard anywhere to buy a old forest anywhere, especially in New Brunswick. You might get lucky in Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, but they call Newfoundland the Rock, and there is real good hunting there. See what I mean by the trees falling over into the road? So there's two I gotta cut. And where we put the grandson sign on, that snapped off. This fall we'll have to fix these signs again. There's a nice big birch. Now that's sizable enough for a piece of, for making up for firewood. You probably get maybe up to a third of a cord off of it. And there's a big pile of cedar on the left. There's a nice big tamarack. No, I guess not. There's a couple of them here. Used to use them for making turpentine back in the day. This is the tree that broke. And this is the soft section. If you wait a little bit in the spring to let it dry up some, you don't come down here and rip it up. Man, I hate that. I might have to put a chain across the road. Oh, that's something I can do right now. I've got the keys. I've got to unlock the gates. So I will unlock the one where we're at. And then when I'm on the mower, if I remember to bring my keys, I can unlock the other one. And just keep it looking the way it is. That way, anybody that comes down or along the road there, just looks like it's locked. We had to put wheels on the end of the gates because they were, the post is way down in there. It was, I think it's like 12 feet down or 10 feet down. But the weight of the gate's so heavy that it just started to sag. Yeah, this will be in some cow's belly. According to the farmer, he said he needs a good 600 bales to feed his cattle over the winter. That's over 30 head. It's not like these ranches out west, where a guy might have 300 or 3,000. There's not a lot of water out there right now, I don't think. There sure's a lot of water here, though. Oh, there's a nice big bush up there, all purple. I've got to come down here this fall and cut some of that shrubbery out of there too. If I feel like it. Hard to imagine. That house was yellow. And underneath the yellow siding, it was nothing but flies. Just almost black underneath there. Oh yeah. There's a wagon in the grass there. I gotta get that out of there. And I gotta push that old whatever it is out of the way. So he can come down here and do that. Is this still running? Yep. And on the right, you can't really cut those trees because that's basically the property line. And there's a bit of a rock wall down there on the right.